and his free agent candidacy. We tried to draw a connection to the Phillies really early this free agent offseason. Is it as strong as it was then? Could they be considered, I guess, the leaders to sign Trea Turner?
Yes, Matt. I think right now the Phillies are viewed as the favorites. There are other teams involved, certainly, but the fit for Philadelphia is there. They are in a situation where they just made it to the World Series. They might be one player away from being able to win it all in 2023. And Trea Turner, said by many to have a preference to play for a team that trains in Florida. Of course, he's a native Floridian, a very close friend of Bryce Harper's, began his career in the National League East with the Nationals, won a World Series championship there with the Nats. You see what a dynamic talent he is, and he is due to get a long-term deal.
You know how guys look like certain teams?
Yeah, you're right. And I'll say this. He is probably headed for an average annual value in excess of $30 million a year. He is headed to that area from a lot of the projections that are out there. And he may still be of interest to the Giants, but I don't think the Giants will sign another position player for $30 million plus a year unless they know if they're going to get Aaron Judge or not. So I think the Giants are involved in the shortstop market, but it's somewhat contingent on what happens with number 99, whereas for the Phillies, Trea Turner, according to sources, is their top priority.
Man, that'd be pretty amazing to envision Trea Turner signing at a higher AAV than what they're paying Bryce.
Hey, one thing I'm hearing a lot, JP, is the big dogs out there, like Judge, Trea Turner we're talking about now, DeGrom, that teams are saying, hey, you got to get signed up because they're holding up the whole market. They're not going to play that wait till February, March stuff. The money's going to be gone. It's a WBC year. A lot of things happening. We may see a flood of these guys sign at the winter meetings just to get them off the board and get the market going. You hearing that?
I am, Harold. I am. And let's remember this. We have not had the winter meeting since 2019. And that was the last time that we had a real flurry of signings around this time of year, the early part of December. And that was the winter meetings where Strasburg, Rendon, Cole, all signed in a span of about 48 hours at the winter meetings, which back then were at the same place they're going to be next week in San Diego. And I think when you consider the dynamics of this marketplace, Judge, to me, is likely a Yankees or Giants decision. There might be another team that lurks, and we talked about the Dodgers, but I believe the overwhelming likelihood for Judge is he is going to either sign with the Giants or the Yankees. There does not need to be a mystery team here. So I think the clarity of Judge's market and the relatively binary choice that he has will help him decide by the end of next week. I've always believed that he's going to be able to sign by the end of the winter meetings, and I've had nothing in the last several days to suggest that it's going to go on beyond that. So when you consider where Judge is, that's a huge domino to go at some point. And I also believe that with both Verlander and DeGrom, we're not talking about a 7-year deal here. It's going to be a shorter deal, high AAV. That is another deal that there really is no reason that it has to go beyond the end of next week. So I think, Harold, you're exactly right. And I think the circumstances exist in the market for Judge, Verlander, and DeGrom to all sign before the end of next week.
Hey, we have some breaking news today that you can fill us in on, as this is just kind of hitting social media, that the Toronto Blue Jays have come to an agreement with should-be Hall of Famer Don Mattingly to join the Jays as a bench coach. It's a big ad, and I don't know that anybody saw this coming.
I didn't see it coming. I talked to Donnie the other day.
Well, he was playing it close to the vest.
Real close.
He didn't want to tell you, tell the phone, tell a friend,
honestly,
tell Harold.
I thought Donnie was going to take a break for about a year, really.
It was a short break.
Yeah.
He's right back in the game. What do you know about this, JP? This is a nice ad for Toronto, for sure.
It really is. And John Schneider, first of all, for John, congratulations to him and the Blue Jays organization on hiring Don Mattingly. And how about this story? John Schneider grew up as a fan of the Yankees in the great state of New Jersey. And yes, one of his favorite players growing up, Don Mattingly. And so now to have him as his bench coach, a pretty unique and special story for John Schneider. And I think it helps, to me, bolster the overall preparation and professionalism of this organization and the staff to have someone who has such great history as a manager, both of the Dodgers and the Marlins. Of course, Don still makes his home there in Indiana in the Midwest, and I think this was just a good fit for him to get back to the American League East, where, of course, he spent his entire playing career for a team that has significant designs on making it to the postseason again. And I will circle back to Don's career with the Dodgers. Cody Bellinger was not yet in the major leagues when Mattingly was the manager. Of course, by the time Cody arrived in the big leagues, Dave Roberts was his manager. But there is a bit of history there from Don knowing Cody Bellinger and Bellinger wanting to potentially get back to where he can establish his numbers again on a one-year deal. I think Toronto has always been a good landing spot for Bellinger. Probably gets even stronger with Don Mattingly now on the coaching staff in Toronto.
Oh, some connecting of the dots. I love it. And what would a JP Morosi report be at just after 9 a.m. Eastern without an update on Team USA and the World Baseball Classic?
World Baseball Classic, 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 World Baseball Classic.
Mark DeRosa's Americans. I love saying that. Mark.
I mean, let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. A couple of stars have signed up and thrown their hat in the ring, JP. Tell us who's on the roster as far as new talent.
Yes, in the last 24 hours, big news there, Matt. And the question is always pitching. Well, we have a couple answers now. Nestor Cortez Jr. and Adam Wainwright. Two great candidates there. I think for Cortez, someone who early on in the season should be in good form. You consider his adaptability, the different arm angles. We just saw one of the pitches there that he throws from a different arm angle. I think his ability and creativity on the mound will be a tremendous asset for Team USA. Helpful to have at least one left-handed starter as you navigate group play. And then the veteran Adam Wainwright, one of the most senior members of the major leagues, Clemente Award winner, World Series champion. About the only thing he has not done in his career is pitch in the World Baseball Classic. And what a great way for him to round out what should be a Hall of Fame resume of his own. And there you see him. This is Adam Wainwright being a great fan of again, the World Cup. He's got a number of daughters who play the great game of soccer. This was how he prepared to watch Team USA play in a previous Women's World Cup. And I'm sure he's going to have that same attitude and excitement pitching for his national team and manager Mark DeRosa at the World Baseball Classic.
My wife smokes.